Is it preparing still?
I had to mash some more buttons. So now it says we're live on Facebook. You want to check on your phone and see if that is actually true?
I have it open on my computer and on my phone, and I'm not seeing us live on Facebook yet.
Okay. Well, if we are.
Is there anyone out there?
Is anyone out there? Let's see.
Oh, I see us now.
Yay. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So do you want to share from where we're broadcasting to your page?
Sure. Share a news feed, right?
Yes. Clicking all the buttons. We need to have a walk-on playlist for
we
all
do.
Cooking.
Yeah. This is fun. Okay.
Okay.
So here we are.
We're
live. We're live on Facebook, both of us. Yes. And we don't have any music for a walk on, but that's all right. We'll get it next time. We're going to practice a lot. Yes. All right. So welcome if you're here with us. We are going to be talking about our event coming up, which we're really excited about. It's called Going Down. And it is the adventure of a lifetime because we're going to be breathing into the pleasure of our nightmares. So today I'm going to be speaking with Julie about nightmares. She is a dream walker, magician, witch. She'll open up her own introduction. And we're going to talk through some of the questions we've gotten from people over the last few weeks about this event, what to expect, and just also we might jump into a dream of mine to kind of let you know what that looks like, what kind of material to bring to the event. So Julie, go ahead, introduce yourself, and then I'll get to our questions that we have here.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm Julie Balderrama. I am a self-professed lazy witch. I really, really like my magic to be easy, and that's one of the reasons why I work with my dreams, because for me, it's like the fastest road to transformation. And so that's a key piece of my magic in my magic backpack. And I've had lots of people talk to me about making sure that I share what's unique about the way that I work with dreams. And so first I want to say that I don't interpret your dreams. And I think that's a unique part of what I do. It's really very tailored to you and your experience. And then the other part that's unique is that I help you build a bridge between your sleeping life and your waking life so that you can understand, like, why is it important that I'm having a nightmare and I've decided to confront this bear in my nightmare? Because it has waking life ramifications and significance.
Sure, and you and I talk about all the time as witches, we walk in the liminal, in the in-between, and you know, it's sometimes, especially at this time of year, hard to determine, are we awake, are we asleep? And there's all these symbols coming through in our waking lives as well as in our dream life. And so for me, working with you in the dream time has definitely impacted my waking life in many ways. And in fact, as I play more with you and play more with my own dreams, it's kind of what is real life, right? And we could go on a spiritual tangent. You and I could talk about this forever, and we don't need to right now. So yeah, it's important for me to share with you how much of an impact it has, especially when symbolic things happen in waking life. I'm more easily able to go in and see that meaning of what that might be.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
That's one of my favorite practices, is to take a waking life situation, and you'll notice that Daniella and I are using the word waking life instead of real life, right? Because it's all real. Once you start working with your dreams, everything's real and not real at the same time. Yeah, when you can take a waking life situation and work with it as if it is a dream, that's some powerful, powerful medicine.
Yeah. It helps us get into that witness consciousness that many of our teachers talk about, and I'm sure other people have heard. The idea there is being able to observe what's happening from a clear state of consciousness. So this practice helps with all of that. So the pleasure side of it, I'm Daniella Pentelute, and I am the Pleasure Witch. So what does that mean, right? There's all ways to interpret this. Really understanding what is pleasure and how we derive pleasure from something, or even like a nightmare or our fear or our anxiety. It's really a practice in neutralizing some things that we've judged as bad, and seeing if we can't take that energy that we use to label something bad and turn it into something good, or something that we can learn from or gain pleasure from. So I have a very broad definition of pleasure, and it's not always pleasant.
Yes, exactly.
You've worked with me a few times to know that pleasure is a practice. It's not always what you think it's going to be. So yeah, that's a little bit about me. And we're going to co-host this event together on Thursday. And we're hoping that we get quite a few people, because the more of that group energy that we have, the more impactful this type of work tends to be for everyone. Because sharing dreams and sharing symbols of dreams and snippets of dreams, you'll find you're identifying with what the other people are sharing. And there's a lot of commonalities, especially right now, not just because of Samhain, the Witch's New Year, Halloween, but also because of our political climate and COVID. There's a lot going on right now where the collective is experiencing many of the same fears.
Absolutely. You know, and I had a virtual retreat this past weekend, and one of the comments that I got at the end of the retreat is like, I gotta remember, and you talk about this a lot, I gotta remember that I'm not alone. I gotta remember I don't have to do it all by myself.
Right.
So it's time for the hedge witches to come out and to find each other and raise our power together.
Yeah, no more Oracle in the cave. Yeah. Let's be together. Let's practice magic together, and let's dive into our dreams together.
Yes.
So one of the things I've heard you say a few times is there's no such thing as a bad dream. So if someone's new to this, that might sound a little like out of scope or ununderstandable. So could you go into a little bit more on what does that mean?
Sure, yeah. Well, so first of all, right, like these labels of right and wrong and good and bad, they sometimes get in the way of us experiencing medicine.
Yeah.
Lack of magic, that could be another word that we use for it, right? Because we, just like you said, we put these labels on different things, and then we decide, okay, that's the pile of stuff I don't want, and that's the pile of stuff that I do want.
Right.
And our small self does that. It compartmentalizes. It says, you know, that goes in the trash, that goes in storage. I'm going to keep this. I like that. I want that. And that I don't want. But our big self, our higher self, our divine self wants to experience it all. And the more we can get into a place where we're willing to do that, the more magical life is going to feel. And so if we take this label of bad dream off of it, and we remember, as Jeremy Taylor says in his book, The Wisdom of Your Dreams, all dreams come to us in service of our wholeness and of our health. And so just with that right there, we can see that there's no such thing as a quote unquote bad dream, meaning it's all coming to us in service.
Right.
That being said, of course, there's dreams in which we have some feelings, right?
Sensations.
Yeah.
Sensations in our body.
Absolutely.
Emotions.
Yeah. So that's
those pesky feelings.
Those pesky sensations. And yeah, when we find the way to work with those sensations as they are, or alchemize them and transmute them into energy that we can utilize to create and generate, we become some powerful witches.
Yeah. So I know we're going to get a little more detailed in like what a bad dream might mean. So if there's no such thing as a bad dream, what's a nightmare?
Yeah. So yeah, we have dreams, I call them nightmares, where we have sensations that we don't typically sign up for, right? We don't typically like, hey, fear right here.
Right, anxiety, pumping heart, that feeling of falling, sick to stomach, all the things that can come up in a dream, because to your mind, to you, it's real. This is a real thing happening. The brain does not know it's a dream.
Right, correct. Yeah. So your body actually feels the sensations in the dream. You feel sick to your stomach. You feel the heart racing. You feel like, how many times have you woken up? I wake up a lot, not a lot anymore, but often, like clenched, like I'm fighting, I'm trying to get away from things. So your body actually has a physical, visceral reaction to the sensations that come in our dreams. So I would say that's what a nightmare is when you have an intense feeling in your dream that's maybe in your don't like category. So that might be, like you said, fear of falling, or that anxiety of like, oh crap, I've got a test to take that I didn't prepare for and I forgot that I was in high school.
Or my favorite one for a long time, early in my 20s and 30s, I would always dream I was back in high school, that I was in my 40s, that somehow I hadn't yet graduated, and I could never remember my locker combination. And it was, it's not like a nightmare, something's chasing me, but it caused a lot of anxiety. I would wake up with sweaty palms and kind of a sweat on my chest, and just sort of frustrated and feeling ill at ease.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Then there's like the classic betrayal dreams, right? Like your partner cheats on you, or you cheat on your partner.
Yeah, cheating on my partner, is that a betrayal dream? I don't know.
Well, for some people.
For some people. To me, it's a vacation dream. No, I'm just kidding. Carlos, I love you. All right.
Those dreams that we have, right, with ex-boyfriends or girlfriends or something like that, and we feel guilt. That's the guilt and the shame, right? Like, oh my God, I can't believe that I.
Yeah. Perfect. So then we've kind of talked about no such thing as a bad dream. So what's a nightmare? Now, would you mind sharing with us a little bit more about, well, how could this be pleasurable, number one? And number two, how do we work with these things? Or you could reverse the order, whatever you like. But those two subjects of like, how do we work with nightmares and how can they become pleasurable?
Yeah, sure. So I think one of the things that I run into quite a bit when talking to people about their dreams, especially about their nightmares, is they have this story about how they've trained themselves, especially if it's a recurring nightmare, they've trained themselves to protect themselves or to fly away or to do something where you feel a sense of control and you get a sense of like, I've got my power back. Yet you're still not engaging with the symbol.
Right.
And so I find that if your dreams are coming to you, especially if dreams are coming to you in a recurring way, either you're not getting the message, whatever the message is that the dream is trying to send you, or you're not taking action. So sometimes we get the message and we don't take the action.
And sometimes that action isn't always a doing. Sometimes it's an integration or a knowing or allowing the information to kind of fill into your body and digest, right? Digest that medicine, digest that magic, so that, that's the thing that I've always found so interesting is I feel like I have to go do something, but dreams are so feminine and so sensual and watery, a lot of times it's just sitting and playing with internally what that dream is bringing me.
Absolutely. And that's where a lot of that somatic work that you do really comes into play, and why our work together is really just absolutely powerful and magical. Because sometimes the doing isn't go and quit your job. Sometimes the doing is go quit your job, right? Sometimes the doing is being willing to feel the sensations that come with the idea of quitting your job.
Yeah. Or even looking at the associations that your mind makes, and we're going to go into this a little bit more, and then using pleasure, the power of your own somatic pleasure, to sort of transmute and alchemize those sensations into something that feels liberating or opening, so that you can receive even more information. So that it's such a potent practice to really be with instead of do something with it, I guess is
absolutely
something.
One of my favorite ways to be with these types of dreams, well, there's two ways, and one of them we're gonna do a variation of it in the workshop event, whatever it is. So one way is to embody the symbol. So let's say that you're having a nightmare about a bear chasing you, so you would embody the bear. Or I was working with you the other day on this bear dream, and as you asked me, what would you like to embody? I actually wanted to embody the fence that the bear was trying to get through.
Right.
So there's a lot of different symbols that you could embody, and that's a way to be with the sensations in a sort of non-doing kind of way.
Yeah.
To let them fill you up. And the other way that I like to engage with dreams, with nightmares, any dream, is to re-enter the dream. So to go back at a particular point in the dream and then to decide what is it that you're going to do. So, maybe what you'd like to do is you'd like to give the bear a hug, or maybe you'd like to eat the bear and see what it feels like for the bear to be inside you. Or maybe you'd like to invite the bear to tea and see, hey dude, why are you chasing me? What's up?
Yeah.
What do you want me to know?
Right. So even if the person, if like myself, I'm not able to go into the dream lucidly, live lucid dreaming, where I'm aware that I'm in a dream and I'm therefore at somehow an effect of what happens, we can always go back. And so that's where the breath work comes in. Can I talk about my part now?
Yeah. And I know we're gonna go into Daniella's stuff more tomorrow too. So definitely catch that live, because that'll be way, way more in depth with that as well.
Yeah, I just will share really quick. So we're going to come together as a group. We're going to share some of our symbols or snippets of a dream. We won't go into a full thing. So we're asking that you come prepared with, a few short sentences about a theme that you experience, a reoccurring nightmare, a symbol that comes through, like you keep mentioning a bear. I know that's something that you've been dreaming about a lot. We're going to go through something that I dream about a lot here in a moment. We ask you to come prepared with that, and the feelings and sensations you have about that. We'll go through that. It'll be the first part of the session. The second part of the session is I will be guiding you on a breathwork meditation, where we'll enter into an altered state right before, when the veil is super thin. So you will have a lot of energy coursing through your body potentially, and in that breathwork state, I'll guide you through a re-entry into this dream with Julie. And so it'll be really, really special, because you'll be able to experience somatically that dream from an altered state and interact with it. And, we might ask it what it wants. We might ask it what purpose it serves. All of those different questions as you're in there, you can really work with this magic and really, neutralize the fear and anxiety around it to find out what the message or medicine is. So, yeah.
And what's cool is you can do this practice on your own for sure.
Yeah.
And holy crap, it's just so nice to be held. And Daniella holds space in such a beautiful, wonderful way, and intuitive way too. So she has this really this really unique way of reading the energy of what, like, you don't need to tell her anything. She can read the energy of the collective and what sorts of questions might be healing, or what sorts of guidance might be healing. And so I've had several people say, or I've heard, you know, when we've done these breath works, I've had people say, like, I don't know how you knew what I was thinking, but, but you knew what I was thinking, and like said the exact right thing at that moment. So
yeah, absolutely. I've had really great teachers, and I've trained a lot. So, and I'm so passionate about it. I love doing this work. And so I think, thank you for that. That's a beautiful reflection. And it's just kind of, it's my work. It's my purpose. So yeah. All right. Do we have a little bit of time to go give a little sample dream situation for people to look at? Let's check if there's any questions.
Yeah, I haven't, you know, when we do the Zooms, it's hard to see people's responses. So yeah.
I don't really see any questions yet, but we can jump into talking about a little bit of my dream and see if anybody wants to come up with a few questions for us to.
Yeah, and feel free later, if you're watching the replay or whatever, like, drop the questions anytime. We can go back and we can answer them in the comments as well if we don't see any today. Or sometimes the Facebook lag is bizarre. So yeah, if you put a question and we don't see it, we'll come back and we'll answer them. So
yeah, absolutely.
Feel free. Yeah.
All right, Julie, are you ready?
One second before you jump in. So I had a couple of people ask me, like, what is a dream snippet? What do you mean by a dream snippet? I just want to cover that real quick. So basically we're just looking for like 3 or 4 sentences, maybe 5 tops, where you get sort of like a snapshot of the most sensational part of the dream, the part of the dream that has the most sensations for you. And it looks like we're going to have a pretty healthy group. So even if you don't have one to share, maybe you don't have nightmares, or you can't remember your dreams or something like that, come anyway. You can work with other people's dreams as if they are your own. And actually that's kind of fun to do. So
it is. And the breath work is always, the breath work is always available too, right? So let's say you choose something from Waking Life. So it's interesting to me that people may not have nightmares or have, you know, a symbol that they have fear or anxiety attached to. Well, we are in a time where there's a lot of fear and anxiety just in Waking Life. So you could always bring a symbol from Waking Life. Like, oh gosh, there's so many, and I don't want to get too crazy, but a politician maybe that you aren't super friendly with, have some anxiety around, maybe, I don't know, a pandemic. That could be something you want to work with, because I'll tell you, in doing this work and really sitting with the collective energy around things, there's a lot to unpack with the pandemic. There's a lot to unpack with our political situation. And so, you know, bringing those to a group like this where we're alchemizing fear is awesome, right? There's so much accessible to you in that place. So while we are specifically working with nightmares and dreams, Julie and I also wanted to extend to you that, you know, Waking Life has plenty of symbols, plenty of fear, plenty of anxiety that you can bring. And hey, if we call on you in the group and that's what you bring, we'll all get a chance to transmute it together in a breathwork session. So.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, let's dive in.
Okay, so I have a reoccurring nightmare, and it's a longer nightmare, but I'm going to give you a snippet. I am at the top of the stairs. The stairs is partially lighted, and it goes down into a basement that's very dark. I am a younger version of myself, probably anywhere from like 8 to 12. And that's always been the case in the dream. And I go down the stairs into the basement, and I'm confronted with a faceless, dark figure that's a man that definitely causes some sensation in my body.
Those dark stairs dreams.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, as I'm listening to you tell that dream, I can feel it in my body because I've certainly had some dreams. And even like as a kid, my grandparents had these stairs down to their basement, and I was terrified.
Yeah.
I loved going into the basement when the light was on, but
Yeah.
I was terrified of those stairs, and I remember that feeling in my body. So it's cool how we all, like, these symbols sort of like all bring something up for us. Okay, so in this particular dream snippet, what symbol do you think for you in this moment, because it can change, has the most sensation for you?
The moment that the man who's faceless, this dark figure, approaches me and is very close to me. Okay. That's the height of the sensation.
Okay. So have you descended the stairs at this point?
Yeah. So I've gone down, which is, there is a big sensation there. It's almost like a magnet is pulling at my solar plexus to, like, I'm being seduced by a vampire. It's pulling me down through like my will. My will feels hijacked by this faceless dark man, and he's pulling me down into the basement. So there's a lot of sensation there too. Yeah. But I think there's even more when I get down to the bottom and I'm looking at this faceless man, and he's like approaching me, and he's very puffed up when he's approaching me.
Yeah. I love the way that you're telling this dream and how you're telling it and you're moving your body, because we actually get a lot of information when we agree to put ourselves in those different positions. So that's fantastic. Keep that up. So tell me about that feeling, that moment where there's this anticipation, you're not sure what's going to happen, and you're
So I feel a lot of swirly energy in my low belly and my solar plexus. My heart is racing. My ears are ringing. I feel a hotness on the top of my head and like tickly spiders crawling through my hair.
Okay. And as you describe those sensations and you feel those sensations, do they remind you of anything in waking life?
Yeah. So anytime I feel put on the spot or put in front of a group where maybe I don't know the answer to something, or also when I feel like I'm being followed, or tracked in some way.
Okay. Okay. So, do you get a sense of which path you'd like to take to work with this dream? Would you like to embody the moment, that's sort of an energy you would be embodying, or would you like to re-enter the dream and do something?
You know, would it be possible to embody the dark faceless man?
Sure. Yeah.
Let's go for it.
Okay. So you're going to embody the dark faceless man. And do you want to have an intention going in, or you want to just get into the body and see what happens?
Let's just go for it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So it's sometimes helpful to close your eyes when you do this. So just go back into the dream, kind of look around you, and then I find it's really helpful for me anyway, to just imagine myself kind of stepping into that symbol, whether that's a person or an energy or whatever.
I'm there. I can see me looking at me. Yeah.
Cool. All right. So what do you feel like as the dark faceless man? What are the sensations in your body?
Yeah, I feel a lot of heartbreak. I feel like I want this young, bright light to see me, because I feel like in her seeing me, I'm real.
Mm.
I feel a lot of tears behind my eyes. I feel like I need to build myself up and be more powerful in order for her to see me, because I'm not a physical being and she needs to see me. Like, this is for her own good. She needs to see me. I called her. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, what do you get out of her seeing you? So I hear that you're there to do it for her and you really do this to her, but what do you get out of it?
I have this burden of a message that she needs to get, and she's not getting it in any other way. And it's like, I don't fulfill my purpose unless she gets this message. And so it's enmeshing us in this relationship that I feel like she's ready to go beyond, and I kind of want to move out of this relationship too.
Gotcha. So you would get to move on once you deliver this message.
Yeah.
Can you speak this message to her right now? Do you have the ability to do that?
Yeah. So the message is, I'm fear itself, and there's nothing to fear here.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you feel like she heard you?
No, she's too afraid.
She's too afraid. Okay.
She is too afraid.
So how can we get the message to her?
Oh, this is why it's so important for me to get this message to her, because she's going to keep attracting like fearful situations until she learns that there's really nothing to fear. So how could we get the message to her? So it's so interesting when you said that, I, the faceless black man, turned into a butterfly.
Oh.
And like, it's this message of transformation. And then I saw the Wild Unknown tarot deck. So like her divination abilities. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Giving her the butterfly card.
Giving her the butterfly card. Okay. Yeah. So if you turn into the butterfly and you give her the butterfly card, is she able to get the message?
So then it's like, it gets lost, because it's about transformation. It's no longer about fear or transforming your fear.
Yeah.
But the reason I think that the butterfly is so powerful is because I can feel as the caterpillar before I turn into the butterfly, all the fear that caterpillar feels. Mm-hmm. Like it's intense.
Yeah.
Crystal is like, there's a lot of fear. It feels like death. Yeah. And then there's this liberation. So that's why I, as a faceless man in this dream, feel like if I give her the butterfly, she'll get it. But she's not quite getting how intense the tight is before the freedom is.
Gotcha. Okay. So I'd love to keep exploring like how she could get this message, but I'm being drawn to ask if you, as the dark faceless man, have a sense of what this energy is between the two of you that also seems to have quite a bit of sensation for her as well. What is that?
Like, I feel almost like the split, I feel split off from her father as a part of her father. Uh-huh. Like, I want to protect her and help her.
So that feeling that space between you has a little bit of her father energy, and also is your desire to protect her.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, or liberate her. I don't know if it's as much protection as it is like helping her, teaching her how to walk through that portal.
Okay. Is there anything that we could use with that energy, with that space, to help her hear this message?
Yeah, what came up was like a scroll, like a note, on a scroll because it feels official. It's rolled up in a scroll instead of like passing notes to one another. So that was one way that came up. Yeah.
So some kind of official message to her.
Yeah, official message. Yeah, she doesn't trust herself as much as she maybe could. So like the divinity, the butterfly card and the tarot deck isn't getting through. So like maybe if I up the ante and give it to her in a scroll, an official document, she might get it.
No on
it. Yeah. Like it even had a little seal, a wax seal on it. Yeah.
So would you be willing to just jump back into the dream and try that and see if she gets it?
Yeah. So, all right. Can I time out us in this exercise and be like, this is where you would take this experience into the breath work and re-enter the dream and have this exchange with whatever it is you're working with. And so Julie's got me to a point where we'll do it right now. And it would be a great place when you come to the group, the going down event, this would be a fantastic place to re-enter and have some of this context.
Exactly. So this is an exercise that you can do independent of the breath work. However, the breath work amplifies the magic because it helps your conscious mind sit the fuck down.
Yeah, it turns off the mind in a way that allows the meaning to come through a little bit more.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I get from people, I get asked, am I just making this up? Well, yes, you are. And it doesn't mean it's not real.
Right. Yep. Okay, so we're here in the dream and we've got a scroll with a seal. So I, as the faceless dark man, am giving her the scroll, and she like giggles and jumps, me as myself as a younger person, and like feels like she's getting like that completely neutralized the energy of fear, of anxiety, of this is going to be painful or hurtful. She's giggling, she's laughing, she's like ready to open it up. And yeah, that seemed to work.
Cool. Yeah, and it would be interesting to see added with the breath work added, like what somatically happens in your body, what gets because different portals start to get opened up as well, especially when you add work to it. So yeah. I hope y'all enjoyed that. That's just a little tiny taste of how to work with nightmares, how to work with scary images. We're going to talk with Daniella tomorrow about the pleasure aspect of it, because that's definitely a key piece of this. Yeah, cool.
So cool. So excited. So it's Thursday night. We chose not to do it on Halloween, but a couple days before, because we all could use a little magic this time of year, this version of this year. And so it is Thursday night at
7 Central, so 6
Mountain, 5 Pacific, 6 Mountain, 7 Central, 8 Eastern.
Yeah.
5, 6, 7, 8.
All the time zones. Yes. 5, 6, 7, 8.
And if you're in Australia or Europe, I'm not sure. There are tools out there for you to use. I hope you come. It could be during dream time.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah. That was a lot of fun. Thank you. I can't wait.
Me too. Super excited.
Yeah. Awesome.
All right, everybody. So what time's our live tomorrow with you and talking about pleasure? It's at
12:30, I want to say, my time. Let's look.
Okay.
Give me a second. It is tomorrow. We will be talking about pleasure and breath work at 12 at noon Mountain, 1 Central, 11 Pacific, and 2 Eastern. 11, noon, 1, and 2.
Awesome. Cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, if you do have any questions for us, drop them in the comments. We're happy to talk.
Yeah.
And we'll see you on the Facebooks tomorrow.
Awesome. Thanks,
Love
Julie.
you.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.